What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the Abomination Brewing Company, and they are a nomadic brewery that brews out of the 12% Beer Project location in New Haven, Connecticut, and this is their Fog Nog. So they are calling this one a double dry hopped double IPA with lactose and spices. It comes in at 9.1% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 3 weeks old. And I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out to a friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Steven, for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Steven hooked me up with. And huge thanks to him for this beer because when I was unboxing the beer and I saw this, I was like, that has to be Abomination. I kind of know their label art at this point. And then when I saw the name of it, instantly my mind started racing. They do a Wandering in the Fog double IPA series. And then I saw, Fog on here and I'm like, okay. And then I see Nog and I'm like, it's Christmas time, it's holiday time, eggnog. So right away, I thought Imperial Eggnog Milkshake IPA, and I think I'm right. I tried to look for like actual ingredients and whatnot, but they just say lactose and spices. What I think is that this is very similar to their Forbidden Pumpkin, which I reviewed in late October for the 10 Days of Pumpkin. That was an Imperial Pumpkin Milkshake IPA, you could say. And it was really weird going in that one because I was like, is this going to be good? You got pumpkin spices, vanilla with like a milkshake IPA base. It was delicious. I think I gave it a 4.4 out of 5. So I think they're doing the same thing here, but instead of going for like a pumpkin spiced Imperial Milkshake IPA, they're going for an eggnog Imperial Milkshake IPA. I'd imagine the spices are probably nutmeg, maybe cinnamon. Typically in eggnog, you use either nutmeg or cinnamon or both. Probably vanilla. Maybe they're gonna get the vanilla from the lactose, or maybe they add vanilla in it. I don't know. I just couldn't find a lot about this one. I think this is going to be a very polarizing beer. You're either probably going to love it or hate it, whether or not you like eggnog. And again, this is all me assuming, and you know what to say about assumptions. Anyway, I'm going to crack this one open, get it in the glass, because I'm really excited to get in this one. Like I said, that Forbidden Pumpkin was really good, so I'm hoping that this one is also really good. I love eggnog, so hopefully this comes off as like an eggnog IPA, but they do a great job with it, because this could go sideways if this isn't like a delicious, like if it's too spiced or too much or whatever. It could be terrible. I don't know, but we'll see. I love the label art. Very simplistic, but definitely screams holidays. And I smell eggnog. That's wild. So that doesn't look like eggnog. No, that looks like a really deep honey orange, very murky and turbid double IPA. Has about a 2-finger of this very lightly tanned colored head. Some bigger bubbles, some medium-sized bubbles, smaller bubbles. It runs the gamut of all the different sized bubbles. It looks kind of creamy, but also kind of soap sudsy. Yeah, I mean, that looks like a double IPA for sure. But I smelled eggnog. Let's see if I smell it as I get my nose in there. Yeah, it's not huge eggnog, but it's eggnog. And I say that as somebody who right now in the fridge has eggnog, and I have eggnog custard. A local shop here, Platters, they do like a weekly special custard, and eggnog is the one this week, and got some of it. It's delicious. It's like basically eggnog ice cream or custard. Yeah, there's definitely vanilla and nutmeg, I would say, in here. Not really cinnamon, more nutmeg and vanilla. But then there's an underlying, this is just like the Forbidden Pumpkin, is bringing back memories. Because the same thing there, I got like all the pumpkin spices, but underneath it, it's a double IPA base. There's peach, there's melon, there's a nice like zesty orange, maybe like a white grapefruit. Little bit of like an herbaceous quality. This smells wild. It smells weird. It smells really, really weird. The vanilla is strong in this. The vanilla is very pronounced. So whether it's the lactose or they're using vanilla, I would say they have to be using vanilla in here. There's a shit ton of vanilla. Like, it is hard to not get vanilla. There's a big vanilla nose. But then I get the nutmeg, nondescript spice, like you could say cinnamon for sure. But then that double IPA base. Like, is it working as well as the Forbidden Pumpkin? Maybe not to that degree, but it's working. It's making my mouth water. Yeah, this smells like a milkshake IPA with a little dollop of like nutmeg and cinnamon on top. It's kind of what it smells like. It has enough of that vanilla and then the base IPA where you're like, okay, it's a milkshake IPA or it's like a vanilla IPA, but then you get a little bit of that spice character and you're like, a little different. I don't hate it. I do not hate the nose, so let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And thanks again, Steven. It's fucking wild. That's a wild beer. I don't know how my reviews aren't the greatest. I'll be the first to admit, if you come to my channel and you watch my stuff and you're like a subscriber and you're somebody that checks out my stuff, you probably enjoy my reviews. But I'm my own harshest critic, and I do a lot of self-deprecating humor because I joke around that my channel's terrible. I'm not the best beer tuber out there. I'll never be. That's fine. I do what I do. And a lot of times I struggle to describe beers even though I review them. And this is going to be one where I'm not sure what to say about this one. Like it's a real cool experience, but it's so fucking different than anything I've ever had that I don't know really what to say. Let's go body and mouthfeel because that'd be the easiest. 9.1%, this is straight up medium body. A little bit of heft there, not too much. I'm fine with it. The mouthfeel, there's carbonation, but this has a really nice smooth creaminess to it from the lactose, probably using a shit ton of oats and flake wheat and everything you put in double IPAs nowadays, New England style, to kind of get it the mouthfeel to be proper. So body and mouthfeel are nice. The taste, this is where it kind of just fucking weird for me. For me, right at the tip of the tongue, I'm hit with like that nutmeg. I would say it's nutmeg, but it's like, it hits and runs. Like it hits for a second and it's gone. Then after that, that's where I get the double IPA base. I'm getting a lot of juicy orange, juicy and zesty orange, like the whole orange. You could say tangerine, more of like a sweeter, like pink grapefruit. That's all right after that nutmeg. And then it turns into like a juicy peach, maybe a little bit of melon, like a honeydew. And then halfway through the palate is where something changes with this beer that I think I really enjoy it, but I'm not convinced, so we're going to take another sip. Yeah, so right about middle of the palate, maybe like 2/3 of the way through the palate, all that double IPA character kind of just goes to the wayside, and in comes a big blast for me of vanilla. The nutmeg reappears with a little bit of cinnamon, and that carries on to the back of the palate. But here's the thing. That carries on to the back, and you're thinking, or at least in my brain, I'm thinking eggnog. It's eggnog 100%. But then, oh, there's a and then. No and then. No and then. If anybody knows that reference, then you're probably watching terrible movies like I am. Dude, where's my car? Anyway, it sneaks back in, the double IPA, and it gives me this like bittering, almost moderate, like kind of pithy, zesty, orange, just generic citrus tone, and it bitters out on the back of the palate. So it's like a bitter eggnog. It's fucking wild. This is wild. It's wild to me. I don't know what to say. It has a slightly dry finish, but it's pretty sweet overall. Like it has a lot of sweetness from the malt, and then you throw in what I perceive to be vanilla and everything. It has a pretty big sweetness, but man, that moderate bitterness on the back of the palate, that like pithy, rindy kind of like orange bitterness is really nice. I'm trying to drink more and more of this because it's fucking blowing my mind. Like this, honestly, this might be more of a mind fuck than the Forbidden Pumpkin. Like that was crazy to my palate, but this is crazier because I get definite eggnog vibes in here, but how it's presented on the palate is way different than I thought. Also, I can tell this is a bigger beer. Not even based on the body and mouthfeel, just I'm feeling it like into the chest and the stomach. I can tell you this, I would guess at least 8.5%, 9% if I was doing this blind. No astringency on the palate, just like a big chest warming. Now, I guess the question is at the end of this review here, do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. Here's the thing, here's the caveat. Caveat is, if you don't like eggnog, I can't see for the life of me how you would love this beer. You might be able to tolerate it because I don't think it's full on eggnog, but if you really like eggnog and you drink it every single Christmas or during the holidays and Thursday, and I was thinking of Thanksgiving, around Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, I think that you would pick up on the eggnog vibe to this one. Here's the thing though. Even if you like eggnog, I could see you not liking this one. I just think this is the thing. I have no idea where this is going to land because I could see a lot of people who love eggnog not dig this one, and the people who don't like eggnog dig this one. For me, I like eggnog, and I really enjoy this one. I don't think it works as well as the Forbidden Pumpkin. If you're comparing what they're trying to go for in that beer compared to this one, I think that one worked a little bit better. but I don't hate this. In fact, I really, really like this. So let's just go with rating because there's not much more to say about it. It's like a double IPA with some eggnog in it. And it's like a bittering eggnog on the finish, which to me, pretty fucking cool. So Fog Nog from Abomination, I am going to go straight 4.25 out of 5 on this one. I really, really dig this one. It would get a higher rating if... I don't know. I feel like if the flavors blended it together a little bit better, I feel like that's what the difference between the Forbidden Pumpkin and this one is. That one was a little bit more cohesive and just worked. It had a perfect harmony with that one. This one, not as much, but still really cool. Price point availability, this is where Steven, hopefully you chime in. We get Abomination in our neck of the woods. We get a lot of the 12 Beer Project stuff because they contract brew at their location, a lot of different breweries, and then we get them in distro. The Forbidden Pumpkin ended up showing up here, which is how I picked it up. But I haven't seen this one. They also did like a gingerbread fog as well. And I think they did another one. I think they did like 3 Christmas themed ones, but I haven't seen any of these. I haven't been looking. So next time I go to the store, I'm going to check it out. But I would imagine price point on this is around $5 a can. But Steven, let me know what you paid for it. And availability, just like I mentioned, 12% Beer Project gets a lot of distro now at this point. So if you do get any Abomination stuff, this might show up. And if it does, and you like eggnog, give it a try. Give it a try because this is just fun. This is a fun beer. So real fun beer, and I enjoy it. I can't wait to hear what other people think about this. There's gonna be at least a couple comments there. You are an idiot. Your channel's terrible. How do you like this beer? This is trash. And there's be other people like, oh, it's the best beer I ever had. That's why I love the comment section. So if you've had this one before, throw it in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Huge thanks to Steven for this one. You'll see a lot of reviews over the next month and a half from Steven on the channel. He sent me a great box of beer. So Merry Christmas to you, Steven. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Until the next one. Cheers.